Right. So today we're going deep, really deep.
Deep dive time.
Yeah, a deep dive into the world of sex.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and we've got,
This sounds scary.
well, it can be. It can be.
Yeah.
But we've got this fascinating case study, one that really kind of
Okay.
highlights those blurred lines between, genuine spiritual seeking and, well, less than savory practices.
I like that, less than savory.
Right. It's a good way to put it.
It is good.
But you've given me a ton
It is a lot.
to work with here, like articles,
Yeah.
social media posts. We even have some, like, internal documents
Oh, wow.
from this group.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can find these days online.
Yeah, it really is. It's like
Right.
piecing together a puzzle
It is.
from all these different pieces.
Absolutely.
And that puzzle
Okay.
centers around this group called Iwowo Mistya Czaitanii,
Okay.
which also, they're known as Czaitania Mission,
Got it. All right.
led by this guy, Chris Butler. So our mission
Admission?
today is to equip you, the listener,
Yeah.
with the knowledge to kind of spot these signs of potentially harmful group dynamics
Well, yeah.
and leadership tactics,
Right.
especially within spiritual organizations. Because
Especially
it's not always what it seems.
No, absolutely not. Things can get really murky really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do we even begin?
How do we even begin? I think we have to start with defining what is a sect.
What is a sect? Okay.
Different from a genuine spiritual path.
I think that's really important to lay that groundwork first.
Yeah, absolutely. And like one of the articles you sent really kind of hit me with this quote.
Okay.
Where it said, authentic spiritual paths emphasize personal growth, freedom of thought, and genuine service to others.
Okay, I like that. I like that a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's so easy, I think, to get kind of caught up in something that looks spiritual on the surface.
Yeah.
But it's really all about control.
Totally.
And I think that's where this idea of institutionalism comes in. Where instead of focusing on genuine spiritual development, these groups get fixated on, like maintaining control.
Yeah.
Almost like a corporation, obsessed with its bottom line.
Right, just the numbers.
Yeah. And that's where I think we start to see some of these red flags.
Okay, the red flags, like what?
Like, for example, in Iwowo Mistya Czaitanii, there were allegations that members needed permission for, like, major life decisions.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, who they could marry.
Major, yeah.
What jobs they could take, even if they could leave the group.
Wow. So
that's like
major, right? Yeah, that's like textbook.
Yeah.
Behavior control.
Behavior control.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And if we look even closer at the sources, we see this control extending to information as well.
Really?
Yeah, like there are claims that members were discouraged from, accessing anything critical of the group and told that Chris Butler was like the only source of truth.
Whoa.
And like anyone who disagreed was, practically labeled a demon.
That's intense.
It is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It sounds incredibly isolating.
It does, yeah. Because, I mean, if you're only getting one side of the story, how could you even possibly know what's really going on?
Exactly. And that's classic.
Yeah, it's information control.
Information control.
Right. Designed to create this, like, distorted reality.
Totally.
And when you combine that with the behavior control, it makes it really difficult for people to leave.
Right.
Even if they start having doubts.
Yeah, even if like that little seed of doubt is planted, it's how could it even grow if you're in that environment?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that goes even deeper than that.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
This whole other level of like thought control.
Thought control.
Which we see in the allegations about Chris Butler's group.
Okay.
So,
like, how does that play out?
Well, we talked about the use of NLP
and
forced association earlier.
Yeah.
But some of the sources go even further.
Okay.
Describing, like, instances of gaslighting.
Whoa, okay.
Where members were made to doubt their own memories and perceptions.
That's scary.
It is like one former member described being treated worse than stray dogs.
Oh, my goodness.
Like that kind of language. Really highlights the potential psychological damage that these tactics can inflict.
Wow, that's really heavy.
It is. And I mean, imagine the impact on someone's self-esteem and their sense of self when they're constantly being told that their perceptions are wrong.
Right. They can't even trust their own thoughts.
Yes. It's no wonder it's so hard to break free.
It makes sense. It makes sense why that's so hard.
Right. And then you add to that this alleged suppression of dissent within the group.
So, like,
no criticism of Chris Butler or the group's teachings was met with, like, swift and severe consequences.
Like, what kind of consequences?
So several sources described being ostracized. Or even excommunicated.
Whoa, really?
Just for expressing doubts or raising concerns.
Oh, that's
like they're trapped in this pressure cooker.
Right, a pressure cooker.
Of conformity.
Of conformity, wow.
Now, imagine that chilling effect.
I mean, it's gotta be. Like, you can't even...
You're afraid to speak up?
Speak up, yeah, right?
Even if you see something that feels wrong?
That's wrong. Yeah, that's a recipe for, like...
Right. It's a recipe for...
Unchecked power and abuse.
Unchecked power and potential abuse.
Yeah. It's really frightening to think about.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is happening.
Oh, right. It's hard to believe.
Within a supposedly spiritual organization.
Yeah. You think it would be the opposite.
Right. It makes you question everything.
It does. It really does. It makes you wonder, like, how could anyone fall for this, you know?
Yeah. And it's a stark reminder, I think, that any group, even one with, you know, seemingly noble intentions, can fall prey to these.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And that's why I think it's so important for us to be aware of these red flags.
The red flags, right? Yeah.
And to develop our own critical thinking.
Critical thinking skills, yeah.
Skills. That's really important. Yeah.
But, I mean, amidst all this darkness...
You know, how do we find the light?
Yeah. I mean, how do we, like...
Like, not all spiritual leaders are like this.
Right. Exactly. I mean, there's got to be a way to tell...
There's got to be...
the difference.
Right, to tell the difference.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've, like, laid out this framework of the bite model.
The bite model.
Right. But now... Let's apply it to the specific allegation.
Yeah, get down to the nitty-gritty.
Right, surrounding Chris Butler.
Okay.
And... Monsieur Czaitanii. This is where things get really heartbreaking.
The tough part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the sources paint this really troubling picture of like
of what?
Alleged exploitation.
Right.
Not just emotional, but financial as well.
Financial too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like there are multiple accounts of members being pressured to donate huge chunks of their income. Like how much are we talking? Sometimes like giving up their careers.
Wow, really?
To work for the group's businesses.
Oh, so they're working for free.
Yeah, for little or no pay.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. One source even described members signing contracts with like hefty penalties if they revealed anything.
Oh, so kind of like...
about the group's inner workings.
Non-disclosure, hush-hush.
Yeah, especially financial matters.
Oh, okay.
That lack of transparency
raises
serious concerns.
Catchy.
Right. It's like when financial gain seems to be prioritized over the well-being of the members, it's like...
It makes you wonder what the real...
You have to wonder.
Motives are.
What are the true motivations?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Right. But the allegations don't stop there.
Oh, no.
There's also this recurring theme of psychological manipulation.
Oh, right.
Which, you know, ties directly back to that thought control aspect
of the bite model.
Yeah. We talked about NLP and forced association earlier.
Yeah.
But some of these sources go further.
Okay.
Describing instances of gaslighting.
Oh, wow.
You know, where members are made to doubt their own
memories and stuff.
Memories and perceptions.
Yeah.
And it's like one former member described being treated worse than stray dogs.
Oh, my goodness. That's awful.
That kind of language really highlights
humanizing
that potential psychological damage, right?
Yeah.
That these tactics can inflict.
It's just, it's hard to...
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
To imagine the impact.
Right. I mean, imagine...
on someone's self-esteem and...
Yeah, how could you even...
sense of self-function. When they're constantly being told that their perceptions are wrong.
Right, that you're...
It's no wonder. It's so hard.
No wonder.
To break free from that.
Totally.
And then you add to that this alleged suppression of dissent within the group.
So, like, you can't...
any criticism
speak out against
of Chris Butler or the group's teachings was met with swift and severe consequences. Several sources describe being ostracized or even excommunicated.
Wow.
Just for
expressing doubts.
Or raising concerns.
That's crazy.
It's like they're trapped in a pressure cooker.
The pressure cooker
of conformity.
Conformity.
Right.
Very.
Imagine that chilling effect.
I mean, you can't
even think your own thought.
Afraid to speak up.
Yeah, yeah.
Even if you see something
really
that feels wrong.
If something feels wrong.
Yeah. It's like a recipe for...
It is. It's a recipe for...
unchecked power.
Power and potential abuse.
Abuse. Yeah.
And it's hard to believe.
It is.
That this is happening within a supposedly spiritual organization, right?
Organization you would think.
Makes you question everything.
It does.
It does.
It really makes you question, like, what is going on, you know?
And it's a stark reminder.
It is, yeah.
That any group, even one with seemingly noble intentions,
right, even with the best intentions, it can go south.
Can fall prey to these pandemics.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's so important.
It is.
To be aware of these red flags.
Yeah, we've got to be aware.
And to develop our own critical
thinking skills.
Thinking skills.
Yeah, really important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But amidst all this darkness.
Right, but how do we find
the light? The
light, right.
Like not all spiritual leaders.
Right, not all
are like this.
Spiritual leaders are like this. There's got to be some good ones out there.
There's got to be a way to tell the difference.
Right, how do we tell the difference?
So, one of the sources gave this list of qualities.
Okay, qualities.
That distinguish a true Vaisnava
okay.
from a demonic person.
A demonic person. Oh, wow. Okay.
So, you know, Vaisnava refers to a devotee of Vishnu.
Okay.
Which is a central deity
I know Vishnu.
in Hinduism.
Yeah, yeah.
And this source emphasizes that a genuine Vaisnava would prioritize humility, compassion.
Okay, humility, compassion, that makes sense.
Honesty.
Yeah.
And a genuine desire.
To
serve others.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't be threatened by questions or challenges?
No, they would be open to those.
Right. In fact, they would encourage.
Right. Yeah, they would want you to...
independent thinking.
Think for yourself.
And critical inquiry.
Absolutely. Not just blindly following.
It's part of the learning process.
Right. Learning is about asking questions and figuring stuff out.
And one point that really resonated with me was this emphasis on alignment with traditional teaching.
Traditional teaching.
Like the source suggests that a true Vaisnava teacher wouldn't introduce new or unorthodox ideas.
Okay, so no, like...
but would stick to the established principles of their lineage.
Right, right.
So it gives us this framework.
Yeah, it gives us a way to kind of...
discernment.
Discern what's real and what's not.
Yeah, it reminds us to be wary of those who claim to have
special knowledge.
Special or exclusive knowledge.
Yeah, like they're the only ones who know the truth.
And to seek out teachers whose teaching
are more grounded in
tradition.
Tradition, yeah.
So it sounds like
we need
a healthy balance.
Yeah, between
openness
and
discernment. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
We need to be open.
Yeah, you got to be
for learning and exploring.
Open, yeah.
But also have the wisdom.
Yeah, you got to
question and evaluate.
Something's not right.
What we're being taught.
Yeah, totally. Like, don't be afraid.
Right.
Ask those questions.
And sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes the simplest approach. Is the best one. Just trust your gut.
Trust your intuition.
If something feels off.
Even
if it's, dressed up in all this spiritual language.
Don't ignore those feelings.
Yeah, your intuition is there for a reason.
And, this whole discussion makes me think about this concept of diksa.
Diksa.
Yeah, it's a formal initiation into a spiritual lineage.
All right, so you're
traditionally given by a qualified guru.
Okay, and it's like what's a profound commitment?
Yeah, what's the problem with that?
Right. It's meant to guide a student towards genuine spiritual growth.
Okay. That sounds good.
However, in some groups, particularly those exhibiting cult-like tendencies.
Right.
The meaning and significance of diksa can become distorted.
Oh, so it's like they're...
Yeah, it might be used as a tool to bind members to the group.
Right, so it's not really about...
and control their lives.
The spiritual growth.
Rather than fostering their spiritual development.
It's about control.
Right, it's a reminder that...
Yeah, it's a reminder that even these, like...
even sacred traditions...
Yeah, sacred traditions can be
Can be twisted
yeah.
and misused
For bad.
For manipulative purposes.
Yeah, yeah.
So how can our listener
use
all this information to navigate
to kind of figure out
the complexities of spiritual seeking?
Yeah, this whole world.
Right, and find like a good
authentic guidance.
A good path.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think?
I think a healthy dose of skepticism was really important. Like, don't just take everything at face value.
Don't just believe what you hear.
Yeah. Approach any group or teacher with a discerning mind.
Okay. Discerning.
Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Right.
And seek out multiple perspectives. Don't just rely on what that group is telling you.
Okay.
Do your own research.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to former members.
Right.
Read critical analyses. There's a lot of information out there.
You have the right to say no.
You do.
And walk away from anything that feels...
Yeah, if it feels wrong...
uncomfortable.
It probably is.
And if you're ever in doubt...
trust your gut.
Trust your gut.
Yeah.
Your intuition.
Your intuition is a powerful tool.
Yeah,
it is.
This is a lot to take in. Right?
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been talking about some pretty heavy stuff.
It's serious stuff, for sure.
But even with, all these warnings and red flags, like, people are still...
Yeah, people are still drawn to it.
Drawn to these kinds of groups.
Absolutely. And I think that's what makes this whole topic so fascinating. It's not black and white. It's not always like cut and dry. There's this human element that we just
there's this
can't ignore.
It's human need.
People crave connection. They crave meaning. They crave purpose. And sometimes these groups, they seem to offer that.
They seem to offer all of that.
Right, even though they might be doing some pretty messed up stuff.
I was reading one of the articles.
Okay.
And it quoted a former member who said, "For a while, it felt like I'd finally found my place, my people. It was intoxicating."
Yeah, it's powerful stuff.
It's powerful.
It really is.
And it makes you think about the power of that longing for belonging.
Yeah, we all want to belong. We all want to be part of something.
Right, it's a fundamental
in ourselves.
Human need.
Right.
And for some...
Yeah, for some, that need gets met in ways that,
Yeah, in ways that...
Looking from the outside, it's like...
Yeah, from an outside perspective.
That's not healthy,
Yeah, it might seem...
But for them, it's everything.
Unhealthy or even dangerous.
Right.
So how do we reconcile this? Like...
Yeah, it's the million-dollar question, right?
It is.
How do we balance...
the need for belonging.
Right, that need for belonging.
With the importance of critical thinking and self-preservation.
Critical thinking and taking care of yourself.
It feels like a real tightrope walk.
It is. It's a very fine line.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, how do we do it?
I don't think there's like a simple answer.
Right.
But I think a big part of it is just recognizing
okay.
that we're all vulnerable to this stuff, you know? Yeah. We all have these needs and desires that can be exploited.
Exploited, yeah.
And the key, I think, is developing a really strong sense of self-awareness.
Self-awareness.
And cultivating this healthy skepticism, you know?
Healthy skepticism, like you said earlier.
Yeah, trust your gut.
Trust your gut.
If something feels wrong, even if it's, you know, all dressed up in this spiritual language.
Yeah, all this spiritual stuff.
Promises of enlightenment, whatever. Don't ignore that feeling.
Don't ignore it.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And remember, like, seeking out those
multiple perspectives
is crucial. Like, don't rely solely on the information that the group is giving you. Like, do your own research.
Do your research.
Talk to former members. Read critical analyses.
Read stuff. Like, there's so much out there. Right. You know, so many different perspectives.
And like we were saying before about dasa.
Right.
That formal initiation.
Yeah.
In the wrong hands.
Yeah. It can be a tool for...
to become a tool.
Control.
More than like a genuine...
rather than a genuine spiritual...
spiritual practice.
Spiritual practice.
Yeah. It's really up to each individual to kind of...
It's up to us to discern...
discern the difference.
The difference.
And to like really do your homework, you know?
And educate ourselves.
Yeah. Educate yourself.
And develop our own inner compass.
Yeah. That inner compass is so important.
And don't underestimate.
And, you know, don't forget...
the power of a
community. Yeah. There are plenty of healthy and supportive spiritual groups out there.
That foster...
that will foster your growth.
Genuine growth.
Help you connect with people.
And connection.
Without all the manipulation. All the manipulation and control.
It might take some searching.
It might.
Yeah.
But they're out there.
But they're out there.
For sure.
It's like finding those.
It is. It's like finding those
hidden gems, right?
Hidden gems, yeah, those little diamonds in the rough.
Those communities.
Yeah, those nurture your spirit while respecting
you as an individual.
Your autonomy.
Yeah, yeah.
And encouraging.
They want you to think for yourself.
Your critical thinking.
Absolutely. Not just follow blindly.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think this deep dive has been
I think so too.
Really important.
Yeah.
Because we've shown a light on some of the like darker
aspects of spiritual seeking.
Yeah, but by doing that, I think we've also eliminated the path.
You've eliminated the path
towards, healthier.
Towards healthier
and more authentic.
And more authentic spiritual experiences.
Yeah. Right, because now you know what to look out for.
We've equipped you.
We have. We've given you the tools.
With knowledge.
Yeah, the knowledge, those red flags.
The bite model.
The bite model, right?
Red flags to watch out for.
Yeah, and most importantly, I think,
and most importantly,
the power of your own intuition.
Your own intuition.
Right, that's huge.
Right.
Yeah.
We've explored this case of Czaitanii.
Yeah.
Not to condemn.
Right, not to condemn
any individual or group.
Yeah,
but to use it as a birding opportunity,
case study, a learning opportunity,
right? To understand the
dynamics of
how this stuff works
and manipulation,
right? Because even in spiritual contexts,
that can exist.
This can happen
even within spiritual context.
Absolutely,
right.
And at the end of the day, it's all about
that you, the listener,
you the listener,
have the agency.
You have the power to choose your own path.
To choose your path.
You have the right to question.
You have the right to ask questions.
To discern.
And to seek out.
And to find
a community
that truly nourishes your soul.
Works for you.
Right.
Yeah.
So, as we wrap this up.
As we wrap up this deep dive, I think
the final thought I want to leave you with is.
A final thought here.
Remember that, true spiritual growth.
True spiritual growth.
It's not about blindly following someone. It's about cultivating your own
inner wisdom. And discernment.
Yeah, trust yourself.
And it's a journey.
It's like a destination.
Not a destination.
Right, it's a process. So keep exploring.
Keep exploring, keep questioning.
Keep asking those questions.
And keep trusting yourself.
Yeah, trust yourself.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for being here.
On this deep dive. Yeah, it's been...
Until next time.
A journey.
Keep seeking.
Keep seeking. Keep learning.
Keep learning. And keep your heart open.
Open to the possibilities.
Out there.